Okay, so let's take a moment and check out 11.2's angles in the unit circle. So pay attention. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email and I'll gladly help you. We have a few definitions here. Standard position, it's an angle whose vertex is at the origin. So you guys are familiar with your X and Y coordinates. So standard position is what that angle looks like. Okay, you have an initial side, so that's this side right here. And then you have a terminal side, which is this side right here. Okay. Coterminal angles are two angles in standard position that have the same terminal side. So here's your terminal side. Coterminal angles, you're in standard position, so these guys are coterminal angles. Okay, and then we have a unit circle. Take a moment to read that. We're going to fill all of our information in our unit circle. Okay, so here this would be 1, 0. So you have a radius of 1. So x is 1, y is 0. Here x is 0, y is 1. Here x is -1, y is 0. And down here, x is 0 and y is -1. Okay, so in example 1 here, we want to talk about the way our angles are rotating. So when we have a counterclockwise rotation, that means you're starting here at your initial side. Okay, this is always the start. If you go up, it's positive. If you go down, it's negative. So think of a clock. If you go up, you're going counterclockwise. So you're going reverse. So this is the positive. And then if you go down, so clockwise, it's negative. Okay. Another thing that you want to know is this right here is a right angle. So this is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and 90 degrees. So if you know that this whole line right here in geometry, you guys learned that a line is 180 degrees. Okay, so if we have 180 degrees for this line right here, how do we find what our angle is right there? Well, this piece right here is 45. This angle is 45. A straight line is 180. Well, hopefully you're telling yourself, hey, I just have to subtract. So when you do that, you get 135. Okay, so I just told you guys each quadrant is 90 degrees. Okay, and we want to find what this piece is. Well, if this guy right here, we're going down, I just said it's negative, so this would be -90, right? And this piece right here would be -30. What is the full angle going to be? Well, you can do mental math. What's 90 plus 30? And this whole thing right here is going to be -120. All right, so to fill in part C here, it's already been addressed, but we can go ahead and go over it. A full rotation is a full circle, so 360 degrees. One quadrant is 90 degrees. A half of a rotation, half would be 180. So half of a circle is 360. 3/4 would be 270. Okay, for example 2, A, B, C, and D, we're just sketching our terminal side here. So 85 degrees. Hopefully you guys know 85 is going to be in quadrant 1. It's going to be really close to 90, except we're just going to do, oops, I didn't mean to draw. So we want to draw our 85 angle there. So this piece right here is 85 degrees. There's your initial side to there. -320. So what you need to understand is negative. Well, this is piece right here is -270, right? -90, -180, -270. Well, we still need to keep going. Well, then we're going to go a little bit more and we have this whole rotation right here is the negative 320 degrees. Again, this being the initial side. Now we're looking at a positive 210. So what quadrant are we in? Again, half is 180. So 90, 180. We don't want to go all the way to 270. So right about there. Okay, again, initial side. The last one is negative 135. Negative means you go down. So this would be negative 90. This would be negative 180, right? So this guy is under negative 180 degrees. So we're going to go negative 90 and then about negative 135 right there. Again, this being the initial side. Okay, so let's put some pieces together. It wants us to sketch the angle here. So let's look at the positive 135 first. So we have, it's in quadrant 2. Right, so 135 roughly right about there. There's our initial side right here. So if this is 135 degrees, let's see what this is going to be. Well, do 360 minus 225, and you see that that is 135, right? So this piece, negative 225 degrees, has the same terminal side as positive 135 degrees. Okay, so now let's think about 198 degrees. So they want to find another coterminal angle that's 198 degrees. Well, again, if you think about it, you're going to be in quadrant 3, so somewhere right around in there. So if we do 360 minus 198, you're going to see that you get, or I did that backwards. It's going to be 198 minus 360. So I probably should write that out because we need it to be a negative number. Okay, so negative 198 or positive minus 360 equals 198 minus 360 equals negative 162 degrees. That is your clockwise rotation. Okay. Now, another one that you would think about, especially for those of you continuing on in math, is a full circle. You could have more than one full circle. So if I said, let's come over here and look. If I said, hey, we're going to draw 2 circles, you have one rotation, well, that's 360. And then you're going to have another full circle, and that's going to be, so 2 full circles, and that would be a total of 720 degrees, okay? So if we did a full circle plus your 198 degrees, which is right about there, right? That's where your terminal side is. So a full circle, and then it makes its way back around right here being 198 degrees. You would do 360 plus 198, and that's going to equal 558. Okay, so that's how we get that. So that's okay to have a past a full circle when you're talking about another coterminal angle. All right, let's look at part C. We want to know, are angles with measures 40 and 680 coterminal? Well, we can figure that out. Let's do 360 plus 40, right? What is 360 plus 40? Well, hopefully you're saying 400. Then add on another full circle because, right, this is our angle, and we want it to be exactly at the same spot. Okay, so I'm going to use this visual again. Here's my 40. So we do a full circle back 40 degrees, that's 400. Then we want to do another full circle. So what's 400 plus another 360? Well, that's too big. So no, these guys don't work.